Well, a lot of people might not know this, but when my mom and dad divorced, I don't remember the last time us being together as a family. To see my mom, my dad, my sister, Lori, just all together, and they were all there for me, and they were all there happy and proud. And I thought I would never see my family as a whole ever again since I was 11. So it was really cool. It meant a lot to me.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, you know, talking is cheap. But we can't all condemn the white man. There's something we got to do. The white man is doomed, but we got to help him on his way. And I don't mean in the jest of hate. I mean according to the plan of divine providence. He that has been up a long time must come down. He that's been down a long time must rise.
If you are an American Negro and an American Negro only, subscribe to YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, fanpage, Spotify, Rumble, and the non-crackers that out on Twitter X or White Truths.
Sister is black, but she is sure not pretty, and her skirt is short. Lord knows the legs are steady, and to walk to school, she's got to get up early. Her clothes on, but they are never ever dirty. They're living just enough, that's enough for the city. The brother is smart, he's got more sense than many. His patience is long, but soon he won't have any. 'Cause to find a job is like a haystack needle. Was where he lives, they don't use colored people. They're living just enough for the city.
And now, our feature presentation.
But we can't all condemn the white man. There's something we got to do. The white man is doomed, but we got to help him on his way.
Welcome to Wrestling with Racism, where we wrestle with racism every single day of our lives. If you are an American Negro and you are not subscribed to Wrestling with Racism, check out the other content. And if it hits you to the core, subscribe and share with every single American Negro that you know, whether they are wrestling fans or not. You may also find Wrestling with Racism on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Fanbase, Spotify, Rumble, and that non-crackers at Al on Twitter X, where you can find more white truths. This is part 2 and the conclusion of this week's edition of Wrestling with Racism, which is the funeral procession of John Cena, as we viewed WWE Saturday Night Main Event live. And we have our live reaction to that program in part 1, which is available right now. We concluded that edition, and as we were getting ready to make our exit for the evening, it ended up turning up into a much broader conversation about the state of professional wrestling leading into 2026. We want to thank our special guest, Mr. Skims, for coming through and spreading knowledge about the past and present of race relations in professional wrestling. This was a deep and much needed conversation, as it appears that the WWE is once again in pandering mode with American Negroes. We are also joined by the Negro Knights Heritage Club as we discuss Michin Mia Yim, a Korean black woman who is using a very disrespectful stereotype. We're going to get into her in detail in this edition. We are joined by our co-host, the owner of a stolen gun and foundational bearded American. Please enjoy this edition, and we will return in just a few weeks with Wrestling with Racism, much anticipated season 3 premiere. And but is there anything else that should have been covered over the last couple of months that we haven't covered?
Have y'all covered Becky Lynch dry snitching ass?
What's she dry snitching on?
Well, she did a podcast a couple where she basically said that there was a dude in the WWE that just be going around on some Diddy shit, but she would not name him. I'm like,
well, let's start with the Diddy shit. First of all, let's start with that. First of all,
yeah,
when you look at the trial, they literally don't have nothing on him. They literally getting him for his wife and another woman who remained anonymous,
and that's
going off having sex in another state.
Yeah, it's so bogus that they know it's bogus.
They can't even prove that that was prostitution.
No, this was some I'm white and I say so. If Diddy had the same circumstances in the court to the teeth, from I to dot, he would not be in jail right now if he was white.
But even when you look at the serious charges, you know, you can't prove that he said, I think Kid Cudi car on fire. You can't prove that, you know, he was strong arming people. You can't prove that he was involved in Tupac shit. You know, all the stuff that we've been hearing about him over the years that damaged his reputation. They wasn't able to prove it in court, but that's still gonna hang over his head for the rest of his life.
Yeah. And if he makes it, and I said this in the space yesterday, if Diddy makes it out of the jail, what he decides to be when he steps out of jail as a free man is going to be crazy. Will he curl up into a ball, or will he just accept his infamy?
If he curl up into the ball, you know his life on the line. So, you know.
Yes.
That's stuff that I kind of always bring up, but you know, that is definitely going to be a topic of people who be, you know, because I don't think that I touched on that through that coon series, but people, I did a little bit, but people who tend to be coons because their life is on the line.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And
if somebody threatened your family and you, on a daily basis, can you just be like, yeah, fuck niggers, y'all community is fucked up? I mean, why not? If they know that you carry a certain amount of power, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Nobody wants a dead mother.
Mm-hmm. Unless they already have one.
They still don't want it. Becky Lynch, my thing is, you know, you saying this shit, but why are you not saying their name?
No, that's not the right question. No, two things. First of all, two things can be true at the same time. Why aren't you not saying the name? The bigger question is, why are you allowed to go on a podcast and say that shit and not say this man's name and still go back to work in that locker room?
No. Why are you not? No. Why are you not saying his name? They're not gonna fire her outright immediately for the shit. Yeah. Even if she was black, they wouldn't do that. But why are you not saying their name? That's the key. You know, if you're not gonna,
it is. I got my suspicions, and I'll say his name right now.
She lying.
There you go. There you go. You said what no one else is saying.
You wouldn't have said this if you wasn't gonna say it. If you wasn't gonna say black people, I can understand. I think owner. I don't know if I said this on the show or not. But like Devon and shit. You know what I'm saying? When the wrestler retired, they live the rest of their life off of conventions and indie shows, and they can't get blackballed from that shit too. So they choose not to speak. You know what I'm saying? So I can understand it. White people, Becky Lynch, you got, as an immigrant white woman, you got the opportunity to wake some shit up, and nobody is gonna condemn you. Actually, you'll be held as a hero. So you didn't say no name, so she's lying.
Yes. And HBK, if you would have asked me who was the person, you know what I would have said? I would have said nobody. No one. It's bullshit. Why wouldn't you say the name? Because if there was a person, they would have already been gone right now. Let me tell you the thing about TK.
That's why I say most of the things that people say about Vince McMahon, they lie. Vince know what type of scrutiny he was under. He wasn't putting his goddamn company in jeopardy.
Yeah. And I think Stephanie Long leaked that story.
What story?
About the whole Glenane Maxwell shit. It was leaked. Glenane didn't come out. It was leaked. I think Stephanie leaked it.
Oh, I don't know nothing about that.
Yeah, I mean, because the timing was off.
But my thing is, something not sitting right with me. Why don't Stephanie have a job?
Yeah, her title, officially, she doesn't have no job.
She don't have a job. She's an ambassador. Yes. That's it.
And guess who they gonna call when Triple H dies or can't do his fucking job no more?
Well, it's a reason why I'm asking that. They don't give a fuck. They'll put anybody in that position. I think they really want to rid themselves of. I think they really want to rid themselves of McMahon because why don't she have a job? They're not gonna call her. They don't want her. If they wanted her, she would have a job.
Yeah. Stephanie McMahon is the most viewed podcast on the whole show, by the way.
Her shit lame.
It's very lame, but it's successful compared to Cody Rhodes and Undertaker. But Undertaker did it to his own self. He shot his own self in the foot by bringing his wife up there. That was a big mistake.
I don't give a shit. They racist. What I'm saying is they want to rid themselves completely of the McMahons. That's why I'm trying to figure some stuff out real quick because, Triple H is the Janelle Grant. He don't have no powers. Triple H is in control. He's the HR, so he's in control of hiring and firing. And then he's in control of creative. That's it. Stephanie, with the experiences that she has, she could do so much more. So why don't she have a job? You remember, she was the CEO before she quit. How do you go from that to just accepting an ambassador role? Just something to think about real quick. Because what would the WWE be without Triple H or Stephanie? Do y'all believe that any random person could come in and handle this?
A random person? No. I mean, well, now that the ball has been stooped so low,
think about it. Tony Khan is a random person. So imagine if you got the difference with Tony Khan is Tony Khan got money, so he can go in there and control. But imagine if they just hired, like, how, they got this Nigerian man that turned Red Lobster around. You know what I'm saying? Made them a profitable company again. What if you get somebody that's in the entertainment, that's in the writing? Hey, we don't know shit about wrestling, but they put them in that role and they know where to place people. They know entertainment. They get Byron Allen.
Yeah, at this point, I think that's probably the best thing that could happen to WWE.
Yes.
It's kind of what I was looking for. Go ahead, owner.
Yeah.
I mean, the old way of doing business, where it was very clicked in all the way at the top, you had to be Vince's butt buddy to get into position. If that was
No, hold on. We
just
can't say that because Vince McMahon got
Allegedly.
We can't say that. No, hold on. We can't say that because Vince McMahon got 800 employees and he know where to place people.
Yeah.
well, I just feel
We don't know that everybody had to be in the.
there needs to be a new vision in wrestling, and I think Triple H is not cutting it.
Vince McMahon never put nobody in the position to where they could fuck his company up and make them fail. We can't deny Pat Patterson contributions to creative and possibly all the other stuff that he did. So for him to be able to be willing to put his company on the line for him, you know what I'm saying? Vince McMahon is not going to put nobody that's terrible at their job in the position just because. So we can't say that.
All that. Yeah.
We can't say that. We got Triple H banking on Road Dogg and goddamn Eric Watts. There's a difference.
Whew.
But that is, I do believe at this point that is what's needed because Vince McMahon did cause this. To where you made pro wrestling industry that that's driven off of money and not creativity. But at the same time, you got to bring creativity back. And Triple H is a wrestler. At the end of the day, he's a dumbass wrestler. But he was not even on the creative end because you spent your time in the WWE focused on WWE business. You didn't watch WCW. You didn't watch TNA. You don't know nothing about creativity in wrestling.
Furthermore to that point, you're a wrestler. Your objective is to look out for you. And that's exactly what Triple H has done. Triple H hasn't laced up his boots in 3-4 years, yet he's the center of attention in everything.
He's not the center of attention. He's a promoter. You know what I'm saying? So
he imposes himself.
Yes, that's what I meant to say. Really Thank you, owner.
Getting the reactions that he's looking for.
Yeah, he opposes himself.
I mean, that's what he's supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? As the primary promoter. You know what I'm saying? Who else? Because at the same time, he got to go out and make all the promotional things. You do need that strong front. That's what he is. But at the end of the day, because y'all kind of making this, I think y'all kind of overlooking a couple of things. At the end of the day, he is just head of creative, but he is the only thing kind of tied to Vince McMahon. Do y'all believe that they need like another Nick Khan type to be within creative? A motherfucker that came in and don't know shit about the business yet he's the CEO because he knows business.
Well, Nick Khan didn't just get here. Wasn't he like security at WrestleMania 9 or some shit?
Oh shit.
Yes, he was. Yes, he was.
That's like saying that Mitch was black, so she black, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he has like a knowledge of business. He's been around wrestling, and
he's the Eric Spoelstra of the wrestling business.
Oh man,
that's exactly what he is.
Right.
Eric Spoelstra went from being the video editor of the Miami Heat to being the head coach with 2 rings.
I think it's much different than that. Who is Nick Khan? Like, what the fuck did he? 30 years in between that time. He didn't just get there from being security. We got to get serious right quick. He operated some shit for a while. Let's check into that real quick.
Like, what was his title?
Damn, he only 51?
Really?
Damn.
I mean, he wasn't in at WrestleMania 9.
This motherfucker look like he down there 70. He is an Arab, ain't he? What is he? Man, because look, when Arabs is young, they look really, really young. But then after they turn 30, them motherfuckers look like Moses.
Yeah, but he been here. He been here most of his life. He ain't been on.
He Iranian. He was born Iranian immigrants.
Iran, huh? Mm-hmm.
His sister named Nakachaka Khan. What the fuck?
Shout out to your sister.
Nakachaka, dog. She looked like
she
looked like Samoa Joe and Willow Nightingale.
No.
No, No, what the fuck? No, hold on, I'm about to put it in the jumbotron. She look crazy. She look like Roseanne. She look like Roseanne daughter. Where the fuck that bitch is. Oh man, she look like a brick. She
Yeah,
look
Negro in the
Japanese,
building.
dog.
Oh wow, she really do.
You looking at the picture of her standing next to the rock?
Oh man, no. Send that.
HB, let's get owner up
It
real
looked
quick.
like
I
the
want to
number
see.
10. Con. Okay, so it said at the end of 2005, he launched their sports and broadcasters division. Just, yeah, so that's what I'm saying. He been involved in the business. My point in saying all of this stuff is, he got experience in different shit. So WWE is a business. We got to stop looking at wrestling. We got to stop looking at it for wrestling and strictly creative. It is a business. It is in multiple ways that they make money, and he's good at making them money and getting them the best deals possible. You know what I'm saying? So now on the creative end, although it's not wrestling, Vince McMahon used to bring up Hollywood writers. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
All you need is these guys to be the players. You know what I'm saying? They can do what they do in the ring. Bring some people in that is good at entertainment and switch this shit the fuck up. Because your great minds, Michael P.S. Hayes and Bruce Pritchard and what the fuck is that guy name? Eric Watts, racist ass.
Mm-hmm.
These guys just not cutting it, including your little nigger token, Ryan Ward.
Yeah, yeah. You gotta go to. What's the other
Before I
one?
get Negro up,
Mr. Skins, come on in here, sir.
Peace, peace, peace. I'm a big fan of HBK and owner of their program, Wrestling with Racism. Just saw y'all
Okay.
in the space and came in to listen.
Okay. Yeah. Where you from, brother?
I'm from originally.
Okay. All right. Sounds
Born
good.
to raised on.
welcome to
Let's
Wrestling with
go.
Racism.
Okay.
Appreciate you. That's not my picture.
Okay. Because yeah, he
Real
look like
quick
he owned a bodega.
because it is intertwined. Real quick, are you on the wrestling end?
Yeah, I watch wrestling.
Okay. All right. So just do me this real favor, real quick. Negro just came up. I'm gonna get Negro out the way. Then we're gonna just jump back on wrestling real quick. There's a couple of things I need to get out of wrestling real quick. So just give me 1 second. Negro, what's up?
Hey, what's up, man? I'm glad to see the three horsemen in effect. Yo, what is up with the Fraggle Rock looking lady?
Whoa. Don't put me in the category with other niggas. It's HBK 400 and the Horsemen. All right?
My bad, player, my bad.
Don't be correct. No,
Okay.
I'm fucking with you. What's up?
Yo, it's good to see you, man. It's good to see you back in effect. How things going?
Everything good, man. Just, it's the holidays and shit. I get a little stressed out around these times.
Yeah, don't let the white T-man's Santa Claus
No,
try
but
to
this
stop the
year is
black
just
man.
so great, man. I'm not stressed out. I think everything is going fine. You know what I'm saying? The snow not even that bad. Everything is
Mm,
great, brother.
okay, this is good. Did the baby come through yet?
No, still got a little ways
Okay.
to go. But
Okay, that's what I was thinking. I don't know. I remember you said something, so I'm like, yo, I was like, is the baby gonna be a winter baby? I was like, yeah, December, because my birthday passed.
oh, did it? Happy
So,
belated birthday.
yeah,
What's going on?
yeah, that woman looked like Fraggle Rock, man. She looked like one of those Jim Henson Muppet babies.
You know what? I'm glad that you up here, man, because I need to holler at you. Owner, can you do me a favor?
Yo, what's up?
We could get this cranked up real quick. I need you to go on to Nine Crackers at all and bring up that Michin shit. I need to get back on this bitch real quick. Mr. Skims, what's up?
So what's going on?
You just watched Saturday Night Main Event.
Yeah, I saw that bullshit.
How you feel about it? Like the
Uh,
overall thing, not even just John Cena match.
I feel like the match, like the Obafemi Cody Rhodes match, I feel like that has some more story to tell to it. It felt like a little TV match to me. I would have gave that some more time, some more breathing room, especially with it being the first match. I thought Phil Ruka showed off, and tag match. I wish Javon Evans got a little bit more time too. But
That
I
did
would have.
seem rushed.
wasn't a big fan of the Cena match at all.
That was what it was. If you've been following me lately, that I just been saying I want to get it out the way. However, the outcome was going to be, whether it was going to be good or bad, I'm just ready for them to get it out the way. And I also just noted that I'm ready for them to get it out the way so we can show what excuse could you possibly have for Triple H now? Because people try to use the excuse that the WWE put so much energy and so much time into the John Cena situation, which we also noted that not only has he not been there, we got the week, but he only have 2 or 3 segments. So what's your excuse out of 2 or 3 hours for being trash? So I just wanted them to get it out the way. This was a pretty good show to me on the wrestling end besides that. So, like I said, there is a lot more that was left out, but everybody performed. You know what I'm
I
saying?
think so too. Yeah, I agree. Everybody performed. I just guess I'm just greedy as a fan. Like I just really wanted people to tell more of their story.
Yeah. And, okay, so you just said something that's important. You said you're greedy as a fan. Do y'all believe that, for the fact that we are, because how long have you been watching?
I've been watching wrestling since about 04.
And how old are you?
I'm at 28.
All right, so you've been watching when you was young. You started watching when you was young too. And is you a historian?
Yeah, I'm a historian. I went back as far as the 80s. I even saw some of Bruno's old matches. Like I love wrestling. Like,
well, no, that's great because I was gonna say you came in at a bad time and then after that, just that's what
you officially started watching No 4, like Eddie Guerrero, Chris Benoit.
Yeah. The first match I ever saw was like an Eddie and Kane match, and I think I think it was Kane and Shawn. He had put Shawn head in the chair. And as a kid, I'm like, damn, is he fucking him up for real? Then as I saw more and more, people told me in school it was fake, but I still kept watching anyway.
Well, I want to correct something real quick because you came in at a bad time, but at the same time, it was still good at that time. It's just when it started declining from its greatness, but it really had a good run when you look back on it between 04 and 2010. 2010 was just when it just ultimately died, but that would be for an old school wrestling fan. However, since it's just like me, I started watching in 97, 98, and then I became a historian and getting into everything going up to the 30s,
Right.
Beyond, before wherever little footage they got of that. So that's what got me just an ultimate fan because I like a lot of aspects that's missing today, right?
Right.
When it could be so simple. I say certain shit could just really be simple and it's just overcomplicated because of what you just said. I feel like we spoiled.
Yeah.
So we expect to see more, but the question is asked, is there any more left? Then one of the running themes that I've been having is, have pro wrestling reached its creative cap? How do you feel about that?
I don't think it has reached its creative cap. I think that you can't keep trying the same things, though. I know they say wrestling was always meant for adults, but I feel like you really, really get its creative peaks when you tap into the youth. And what teenagers and young adults watch today is very, very far different. It's more gritty, it's more realistic, it's more dramatic than what teenagers watched in the 80s and 90s and early 2000s. Like Euphoria would have never been a teenage show back then, but that's what young people watching. And so I feel like you need those realistic, those gritty stakes to wrestling. You need faces, you need people that could sell that image. People like a Trick Williams or a Javon Evans, or even, I can't think of nobody else, but like people like that, right? That could really push that image. But they keep pushing the white.
I want to ask y'all this because when you named those two, were you thinking of black people specifically, or were you thinking of overall talent?
I'm thinking about their wrestling psychology. So like with Javon in particular, he had that spot in the TNA match where they were about to do the trading blows, him and Leon Slater. And then Leon put his hands behind his back, like, all right, go ahead, chop me. And then he wound up like he was about to chop him, and then he hit his signature move.
Yeah.
Like, it's a real fight. Like, you got to treat it like it's a real fight. Why would I sit here and go chop you back and forth and let you chop me? It don't make no sense.
Roddy Piper was one of the very few people, and he may have been the first, to where when Hulk Hogan was hulking up, He did all of, he punched him 2 times, and when he was getting ready to go for the third one, he just out poked him in the eye. Like, motherfucker,
Yeah,
you're not about to get me.
yeah,
But if
yeah,
they were
exactly.
to do that every match, that would, I kind of see what you're saying, because it's okay to go back and rehash certain things, but when you do it consistently, it's an issue, right?
Yeah, for sure. And even little things like, Javon against Angel Garza, he's about to go springboard and go hit his tag team partner outside the rope. He tried to grab his ankle. Like, it's those little things that to me is like, this is a real fight. It's a simulation of a real fight, at least. And Trick Williams, we know, is a boxer, is a trained boxer. So he has that same approach in his matches too. That's why I named those two in particular.
So I want to just, I want to let me get some more time real quick. I want to talk about wrestling real quick, but Negro just came up at the same time, and the Negro's issue that I want you to address real quick. Owner, did you get the Michin shit?
Yeah, I'm looking at the mention stuff right now in regards to Jade, the actor, the Jade, the wrestler, and her beating up on the other lady that was talking smack about her allegedly. Am I correct?
Yeah, so it's a Korean. I just thought she was Chinese or something, but it's a Korean chick, and she mixed with black. So I'm trying to find this picture real quick of her father.
I posted where she responded to you up there in Jumbotron.
So the way she come off, she come off talking about, "Hey, sister girl, I'm," she got a little black tag team partner and shit. Sister
She all
girl,
she came from a very structured, household
she came
background.
from a structured
She come on
household.
TV, she's all yo 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 yo, what's up, dog? She Malibu's number one.
Her father was in the military, and that's him down there. That's O.J. Simpson Jr. Her father was in the military, and he, was in the FBI. He worked in the gang unit, and then he worked in the kidnapping unit, and then he worked in the cyber security and shit. And she grew up in a little suburb in West Virginia. This is on her Wikipedia. All of this. So she does come off like that. You know what I'm saying? And she's one of the ones, she
West
done told her
Virginia?
story multiple times about how she was never accepted in the black community. And Bianca Belair was one of the ones that helped bring her to get to recognize that she's black and all that. And listen, she married to an American Negro man. Her father, then take a look at good look at the picture of her father. You know what I'm saying? He His eyes do look like he got some Tiger Woods shit going on. I believe that he's mixed with Asian if you really look at the picture. But I can't confirm that. But if she is an American Negro woman and she does intend on reproducing with an American Negro man, I can't knock her. I didn't knock that. But the way that she's acting is completely out of pocket. Now, I do want to say that the way that I came at her was the fact that every single American Negro got a stereotype slapped on them when these are not their true characters in real life. They're not even equipped for it. So they come off lame as a result. But why do you, as an Asian looking woman, have to accept being into that stereotype? How do you feel about this Michin bitch?
Okay, you know what it reminds me of? From a cultural standpoint, I'll point to the Spider-Man. She's a female Miles Morales. You get where I'm going at? All the positive attributes that make blackness cool, it exhibits. But when it comes to other things, they'll promote the language and the other things, and they complement that as well. And it's like a play. And I personally don't like it because it deflects away from the black community from its entirety. It's like we'll take the coolness from the community, but we'll promote it on another ethnic group per se, or another person of color and stuff like that. And that's what kind of makes it from my perspective, problematic, because now it wouldn't be that it's this black man, as in the black person who is a real black American, that's exhibiting these traits. No, this is a black person and somebody else. So now it blends other groups into our plight, into our talking points, using our colloquials and stuff like that. And that's kind of the problem, where it can fall into the lines of what people might call blackfishing, where other ethnic groups are cosplaying black people. Or one of the other terms I use is melanin minstrel face in my book, where they all do minstrel show like behaviors in order and with the intentions of mimicking black folks from a negative perspective. That's when it becomes harmful. And so I think that she's kind of on that threshold based off of what I witnessed and saw in that little clip and the other things of that nature. It comes across as like they really don't want to have black people who are real black American people with all that swag and bravado, but they won't mind a half a black person or a mulatto or biracial or quadroon or somebody that's culturally ambiguous like a rock. You kind of see where I'm kind of coming at with that?
And I feel like, that's kind of a rule across entertainment. Negroes always have to have some kind of attachment to their identity to excel. You have to be gay and black or half black, or it's just you can never be. They don't want a straight black man coming out walking with his head up, wearing a 3-piece suit, button down with spats. They don't want clean cut, upstanding. They always want something they can discount or discredit as far as the Negro.
Yeah, and that's kind of the problem that I'm seeing here. I'll even go one step further.
So see, that's kind of what I was saying about, like, Trick Williams and Lash Legend. That's, you see two positive American Negroes, and they are clearly in love with each other, and they are clearly good at what they do in this business. And you got CM Punk, who talk. He could put on a good match, but you want to show their love on TV. His wife not shit. This bitch been gone for 10 years, and you bringing her back, and you gonna put her in prominent positions. This little teeny tiny bitch, when you got all these goddamn glamazons in the WWE right now.
He's atheist. He's one of these people who believe we descend from monkeys.
Well, I mean, that's what I was saying earlier. They seem like they don't have nothing to do for these Negroes. That's why Wesley was fired. This is the reason that they gave. We don't have nothing to do for you. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, we were going into a situation where they forced the integration. They never wanted Trick Williams to succeed, yet he's succeeding. They never wanted Obafemi to succeed, yet he's succeeding. Like I said, they get into an undeniable situation. Javon Evans, they get into an undeniable situation. It's going to come to a point where Deion Lennox is going to come into an undeniable situation to where you have to do something with them, or you're going to have to be the bad guy and get rid of them.
I mean, CM Punk, for the longest, we were talking about shape earlier. He's been one. He's not athletic. He's not in particularly good condition physically. Why is he world champion?
He's world champion because the older Seth Rollins is not there. You know what I'm saying? But we're going to see. We're going to see with Brian Breaker and all this other different shit. It's about to get to it. We about to find out that Gunther not shit. It's about to get to it. We about to find out that Brunson Reed is not shit. My question is, why is Brunson Reed in the state that he's in? Before we get finished with that, real quick, Negro, do you want to continue?
Yeah, I did want to continue a little bit more about this because it seemed like it's a common practice where that even if the person's biracial or not, they'll even force it at where a black man or even a black woman has to marry outside of their race for them to be accepted or embraced in any form of entertainment or just any form of, I would say, business in the system
Well,
of
wait,
white
wait.
supremacy.
They'll show black love before they show integrated love. Owner, if am I correct? Have they ever showed genuine integrational love?
Now, I really can't think of a time where black wrestler with a white wife got over.
I'm talking about on TV with each other though.
No, they don't. They don't want to see that.
Yeah, I don't
They
think that's ever happened.
sub, subliminal, and I don't think it's by accident. That
We can't list the 100 of the greatest black wrestlers with success of all times. I don't think we could do that.
Then my bad if I misspoke.
You're good because you bringing up the points that need to be exploited. Like this is the purpose. You know what I'm saying? You coming from the outside, anybody can see. Anybody without blue eyes can see that racism is the number one problem in pro wrestling. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's interesting that you bring up that
In
angle,
every
and
area.
it's just like that with any form of entertainment. Once they're in control of it, is a lot of like you could use like the hip hop industry. Once white people had like a stranglehold over the art form and stuff, now it's down to trash. Now it's not as good as it used to be. It's not even as profitable as it used to be, right? It's kind of like the same type of thing when it comes to entertainment. When they're taking over, having the authority, having executive decisions, or the final say on an art form or a certain thing that they're not even privy to, right? And you see that it's slowly going down the drain and it's not as profitable anymore. And that's kind of the things I find that's very annoying a little bit, because they they inject their racist ideologies more or less into something that is already fake to begin with, to almost like set up like a safe space or a safe world in which they control. And nobody doesn't want to come. People come here to be entertained, not to be indoctrinated. And I look at that as a form of indoctrination through entertainment, unfortunately.
Everybody know the wrestling is fake. Everybody know the wrestling is scripted. In real sports, like I said, we noted earlier that in integrated sports, genuine integrated sports to where it's fair, we know it's 96% more white in hockey than it is American Negroes. When it's the closer portion, Negroes tend to dominate. Black people all over tend to dominate any white. The Africans kicking the French people ass in soccer, ain't they?
I mean, Africans been kicking
Yeah,
French
they was
people ass all over all year. I mean, they've been kicking them out of Africa since 2023.
Yeah.
dominating for a minute.
How you feel about Gunther?
I'm not well, I ain't gonna say I'm not a big fan. I used to be a bigger fan when he was in the Indies and he was in NXT. I liked where Vince was going before he left with the Gunther idea. I didn't like how Nazi adjacent it was at first, but I mean it generates heat. But I don't think they're going in the right direction with him now.
My bad. Where they going with him?
I don't think they even know.
Do you want to see who do you want to see Gunther wrestle at WrestleMania?
Shit. I can't even tell you. I mean, I would probably like to see him against somebody that could fly, somebody that could move. Like maybe not Carmelo, but somebody who wrestles like that.
Oh, you be careful what you ask for now.
I can't say Gunther belongs on WrestleMania card right now. Just
Yeah,
because
that's
he
what I'm
beat John Cena tonight don't mean anything.
Well, let's get to it. I mean, like I said, we gotta focus on the future. John Cena is dead.
Their future don't look too good to me because Roman Reigns is 1 foot out the door. Seth Rollins, we know he wants to go work in Hollywood. Cena's out. And then Cody Rhodes is probably going to finish his contract out and he's done. Who they going to have in 5 years is their young stars.
Well, what young stars do you want to see succeed in the WWE that's there?
I wanted to see Austin Theory for a little minute. I think it's a little too late for that now. Logan Paul would have been good if he could commit to a full-time schedule. Trick Williams is mega over. I've been saying he was going to be a star before he was even a wrestler, when he was Carmelo manager.
Man, that motherfucker, I never thought this motherfucker would wrestle. I knew I wasn't tripping.
And yeah, those are guys that's coming to my mind right now.
Hey,
Okay, so what
Austin
do
Theory and I'm sorry, but Austin Theory and Soul Sokoa, like, doesn't that just make Gunther winning tonight that much less valuable, because John Cena's already put over Soul Sokoa and Austin Theory, who went on to have like gross losing streaks.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely thought about that. I think Solo beat him pretty decisively too.
He did. He beat the dog out of him. The thing is, though, dumbed him down immediately after that. The thing is, though, you mentioned Austin Theory, so maybe I'm missing something. Can you tell me what this thing with Austin Theory, like, why do everybody like him?
Like I said, it was a few years ago. This was before he felt that cash in. So I think he was about 22, 23. So at the time, I'm like, all right, he got potential. He could learn. You put him in certain spots, put him under certain pressures, you could see who he really is. Character work, I feel like he always did pretty good. I thought the selfie gimmick, I thought that was a good heel gimmick. I thought I like his selling ability. And I like how he can play up or down depending on who he's wrestling against.
I just didn't see. I think maybe I'm thrown off because of the Vince McMahon endorsement.
What throws you off about that?
The Vince McMahon endorsement. What the fuck? That's who the fuck. What the fuck is an Austin Theory? Out of all the motherfuckers in the entire World Wrestling Federation, you chose this motherfucker.
You reminded him.
That's what I'm saying. What made him? What was so special about him to get that endorsement?
There's allegations out now.
Them allegations for sure. But they also said he reminded Vince of like a young Randy when he wore the blue trunks.
But Randy didn't even get that endorsement when he first began. He was getting his ass beat by Bob Bally. This motherfucker came out a stir. Like, I watched Survivor Series for 2 seconds. Then next thing you know, here this motherfucker go. He popped out of an egg.
If Vince was still here, he would have won the Rumble. I think so. I think him or Matt Riddle would have won the Rumble by now.
None of that sound good to me. Wrestling is ass. The players is ass. So I do want to know, like, okay, so I'm okay because I'm looking toward the future and stuff, right? Because we really got to get this together. I want to get serious right quick. Okay, so we already established that Gunther do not belong at WrestleMania. If y'all had the ideal WrestleMania card, what would it be?
I think
Maybe I should. This is another question that I should have asked first, but since I put this out there, because I think I was in the midst of this question because you did say Austin Theory and shit. Because I was saying that who are the people on the card, any ethnicity that you will put your money behind for the future? Who is the next John Cena? We already recognize that Roman Reigns got one foot out the door. Is it Jacob Fatu? Who is going to hold this shit down for the next decade?
I could also see them putting the Rocket on Braun Breaker too. I forgot about him.
This is a pro-black YouTube wrestling channel, but if I was to, campaign for any Caucasoid, it would be Braun Breaker.
Yeah, but as a baby,
that's crazy. Though this is the system of white supremacy via anti-blackness.
I'm say this.
Rick Steiner is a fucking racist, and we know that shit, and so we know what his values is, and we can't help but to say him, right? I didn't say nothing, but I'm just saying. I understand.
I'm not a fan of this person, but I see where there's an advantage to make some money. I would push LA Knight.
Dog, what the fuck is up with y'all?
He's too old.
He lame, dog. He lame.
But it worked. Yeah, but that white lame shit works.
He lame to me because it's this promotion down that I used to work at, and it was this. He was the promoter and all that shit, and he kept trying to act like Stone Cold Steve Austin.
And it was just he came out with the music and everything, and just it was just god awful, and that's all I keep thinking about when I see LA Knight. And listen, I'm listen. Even if I don't get somebody, if the people behind them, then it is what it is. So I understand that LA Knight is going through a lot of scrutiny and shit now,
Yeah.
But I did say over the next decade, Chad, and you just said LA Knight.
Oh, nah, yeah, okay.
So,
That's not gonna work for the next decade.
he ain't no Rey Mysterio because I'm cool with Rey sticking around for another 5-6 years, right?
Another 3.5 years,
Until he
5 years.
starts slowing down, he actually pretty good, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a difference. John Cena a pussy.
Yeah.
They gotta go poach some people from AEW.
Hulk Hogan started ramping it up around this time. What the fuck?
I think Ray. Yeah, you're right. Ray does have a lot left in the tank, and there's a lot of money on the table in that story with him and his son. So
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but they're not pushing that. His son is becoming a bigger star each day they don't feud.
So, all right. So I said this earlier, real quick. I know I'm jumping out the place real quick, but I said this earlier that Gunther. It appears as if he has done it all in the business that anybody could possibly do.
Mm-hmm.
Why does it feel like that for him?
Because nothing's changed. His character hasn't evolved. The crowd reactions haven't gotten any. He hasn't gotten any more heat after retiring 2 people. It's all about the same. That's why he just feels real stagnant.
I mean, I said it earlier with Owner. It seemed like whoever was doing his writing got lazy once he defeated Drew McIntyre and Sheamus at WrestleMania. They felt like they could just send this off in the cruise control, and they got lazy every day ever since.
All of this shit starts. Go ahead, my brother.
They was like, he wrestled 2 world champions. He beat them both. Oh, he's a bona fide star. It's no way he can fail from now. And then he taps out to Jey Uso
By his own move too.
Yeah, Jey Uso could have beat him, but it just don't make sense, bro. A dude with 2 moves, because he literally has that. That's not an understatement. He has 2 moves. Every other move he has taken. The punches he took from The Rock, the spear he took from Roman, like the rear naked choke he took from Gunther. All he has is a super kick, and he didn't even take. That's not even his move. That's HBK's move.
Has he ever done a
He has no
takeover?
moves. Yeah, and he botched it.
Yeah,
Botched the arm drag.
He botched a spinning neck breaker.
All
you got to do is fall.
Like he doesn't take. I've never seen a guy like at that level just not take it serious. Like be so unserious at the top. Like he doesn't work out. He doesn't work on his promos. He doesn't do shit but get drunk.
This is why I say character building for WWE under Paul Levesque is like horrible wet dreams or just sex with blue balls, because they build you up off good and then they just stop. And you just sitting there like, what the fuck is going on?
We constantly say that they were bringing American Negro all the way up just to bring him all the way down. Swerve Strickland's greatest rise was his greatest fall. Mr. Skims, do you watch AEW or are you familiar with AEW?
No, I don't really watch AEW.
Okay.
I used to have some familiarity with Mercedes, so like I'll watch by her, because she's a friend of the family, but that's about it.
How do you view Mercedes?
I fuck with Mercedes personally, but like I said, I've spoken to her. Like I've met her in person. She's a friend of my family. Like, so I'm a little biased. I ain't gonna lie.
Oh, we get a little crude towards her, so if you get offended, we just out of Samaritans.
My thoughts on
I've heard about videos.
We honest Americans. Shit, we ain't like we lying. Tell the truth.
She look like Jamie Foxx.
Huh?
She says she look like Jamie Foxx and shit.
Yeah. No, she don't look like Jamie Foxx. She look like Wanda. Like, just, I wasn't trying to say like she looked like a man and nothing. She just, shit. Look, Janet Jackson looked like Michael Jackson. Do we think Michael Jackson fine?
Nah, hell.
All right then.
Oh, this is just horrible, bro. Oh man.
Hey, so no, I'm just saying, we just call it how we see it, and if we wrong, we are wrong sometimes, but for the right reasons. But she could correct us anytime she want to. If you got the plug, shit, tell her to come wrestle with racism.
She iffy, man. She could be a little bitchy too, I ain't gonna lie. You gotta catch her on the right day.
No, I mean honestly, do she connect with American Negroes? Do she go to family functions and shit?
So like I said, I grew up in that, and my family was all in the music industry. So she'll fuck with Snoop's family, the Bernardos, and she'll like go to studio sessions and things like that. That's what I've seen, at least.
I mean, that's her family. That's what all I ask. That's all that's pretty much all I want to know is, are you connected? Hey, do you come in and check in on auntie and shit?
Yeah, she do that.
Okay. I mean, that's all I ask. That's her family. I mean, other than that, she ain't got no other Negro family other than that.
Nah, not for real.
Nah.
I haven't been with nobody else.
All right, that's what's up. Other than that,
she got a cousin, Rocka. She funded like some of his music and stuff. So that's about it as far as like her connection with the black community that I've seen.
So how do you view mixed people though? I mean, could that be a fair assessment?
Could what be a fair assessment that she's mixed and that's like?
Well, any views on how do you view mixed people?
I don't trust them personally. I feel like every mixed person I've met on varying degrees have some sort of identity crisis, whereas they either assimilate in other cultures or they try to super blackify themselves because of their insecurity, because they never feel black enough, or they pick and choose when it benefits them, and like every single one falls on some degree of that sliding scale.
It's the same with like that Michin, right?
Yeah, for sure. I was gonna say something earlier, but I was listening to what y'all was saying. I feel like Michin she's one of those people that like when Michin is a person that definitely doesn't have an identity. I've heard her say this in an interview. She's like, she doesn't feel like she's getting as over as she could because she doesn't have a personality in real life. She says she's mad boring in real life. She don't do shit but smoke weed and play video games. That's just who she is. And she doesn't know how to translate that to a character. So I feel like she's just emulating people that she sees around from wherever the fuck she's from. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's Virginia or California or whatever she want to claim. And it's coming off cheesy to me. She don't talk like that on her Twitch streams when she's playing games.
I'm gonna check into that. And I'm pretty sure she wasn't raised like that either. And like I said, hey, listen, that's quite disrespectful. I don't have an issue acknowledging that she's a black woman specifically because she's with a black man. But her black man character is to not speak like that. Like, it's like he damn near discouraged it, right?
Yeah.
So now if that's just the gimmick, then he doing goddamn good. But, at the end of the day, she does need to find her identity. But at the same time, I understand because that's how people expect. When they look at her like I stated. She's a China woman. You know what I'm saying? So that's hard to navigate. I understand. But what can I do? Her fight is not my fight. You say, well, on?
No, I feel like that hurt Keith Lee in the WWE because he's not he's super smart. He reads books and lift weights. Like he's a scholar. He's an academic. Like
Even Tony
doesn't
Khan,
mean he don't
Tony,
have
that's
any
why
part
he
of it.
not on TV, because Tony Khan said the same thing. Look, nigga, you gonna have to do more than indubitably, and motherfucker, like, pull your pants down. Like, why don't your ass crack show when you bend over?
Indubitably.
No, I'm just saying that's serious though, because I believe that's why Cedric Alexander was released. I believe that's why Ashanti Adonis, who fought in Afghanistan, was released. You know what I'm saying? You gotta wonder, because street profits aren't street niggas. And while we looking at Angelo, not only are we looking at Angelo Dawkins incoming release, but we looking at them not having nothing to do for Montez Ford.
He's 35, man. He ain't got too much time to be the face of the company. They might give him a sympathy title run at 37, 38, but by then it's not gonna matter.
And it's kind of fucked up that you got to say that, because we was just talking about LA Knight.
Yeah.
And it's feasible that can happen for LA Knight, but it's impossible for it to happen for an American Negro. I did say how many American Negro wrestlers have been celebrated into their 40s and 50s and shit. Like, we on our way out the door. Do we got money? Our truth is crazy. That our truth did what he did tonight when he could have did that as a producer. They gotta put you back on the plantation, because we don't want you in the house.
Yeah, and to go back a little bit, the Ashanti release didn't make any sense to me, because not only was he in Afghanistan, he fought Taliban. Like, he was in foxholes getting shot at. He has a medal, because if you get shot at in infantry, you get a medal, you get awarded. He was a D1 athlete. Like, every athletic endeavor that they look for in their recruits, he excelled in all of them.
It's like they look at a Negro and they can't fathom that they could place them in the position. With the shape that, John Cena got one of the greatest physiques in the pro wrestling history. WWE got a hell of a find when they found him. He found some passion, because John Cena, I don't think that John Cena wanted to be a wrestler when he was 10 years old. I don't think he wanted to be a wrestler when he was 20 years old. He came in and he found some passion. You know what I'm saying? And John Cena got one of the greatest physiques of all time. Ron Killings, when he was sitting in that prison, I don't think he wanted to be the greatest wrestler of all time. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he, ever thought that he could be. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he ever thought that he could be a wrestler, or even it came across his mind. But he came in and he got really good at his craft. A puppet could only be as good as their string, the person that's pulling the strings. You know what I'm saying? John Cena had the greatest puppet master over him, and I guess their fingers got tired by the time it got to Ron Killings. Ron Killings is in one of the greatest shape in wrestling history too, and maintained that to this day at the age of 55 or some shit?
Yeah.
Over half a century.
Yeah. So he could rap.
Yep.
Different songs.
Yeah, he had a country album, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Oh.
And he helped produce Carmella and Naomi songs too.
He can rap different songs every year after year after year. Can John Cena do an album today? Now that he in retirement, I challenge John Cena to record an album in retirement.
He needs a writer. He needed the trademark.
I just challenge him to record it. Record it. You could have fucking you could have JD write the shit. You could have JD write the shit. I don't give a fuck.
John Cena Christmas album. Right?
Written by Jermaine Dupri. Written and produced by Jermaine Dupri. Motherfucker.
Featuring Debrat.
Oh, man. Featuring Britney Spears. Come on.
They were just flexing his album. And the first rapper to ever go platinum and never have a follow-up album.
Well, because he did what he needed to do to get on. That's all he needed to do, and he turned into the greatest white man in the history of white men. Because he gonna come and see your children, and then when you're gone, he's gonna come back to see your mother. So, you know, John Cena, what do you want to say about John Cena overall? He's gone now. He's dead, right? He's dead to you, right?
He dead for sure. I like John Cena as a character. I feel like he got too much flack sometimes when people talked about the limitations of his character or his moveset. I've always felt like that was kind of the point with him. Whereas the whole sense of Cena is that he's inevitable. And that if you do beat him clean, then, you know, you better be ready to hold that torch. And that's something I did like, a little nuance about his character. I just didn't get the sense of that tonight with Gunther. And I feel like he deserved better in terms of like just what he did for the business than that bullshit they gave him.
This shows me the two things. It shows, the more and more I just sit here and think about it, it shows me two things. It shows me that one, John Cena don't give a fuck. He just like me, just want to get it over with. And it also shows me that he only did what he was told. There's no way that he had any input in any of this shit.
Yeah, he pretty much said that in the Van Vliet interview. That
I believe
they
him.
were like, hey, could you have changed this? What would you have done? He's like, I don't care. He's like, we here. I only think about moving forward.
At first I wouldn't have believed that for a goddamn. But the way that this shit just ended tonight, I believe him.
Yeah,
for sure. I definitely think that he wanted to do more. I definitely think he never wanted to turn heel at this stage. They said that Brock beating him was his idea. He already said, no, that wasn't me.
That's crazy. And for you to tell this shit in real time, how do you feel as an old school wrestling fan about these people telling this stuff in real time?
I hate it. I hate it. Keep that shit wrapped up. Keep it behind doors. The Unreal show, too. I watched it, even though I didn't like the idea of it. And all it did was confirm to me everything I knew. Like, Triple H doesn't have a clue. He is completely out of his depth. And keep the curtain closed.
Well, it's all the way open now. And it's kind of no rebounding. And, you know, you got real people. Like, you know, they merged with the UFC. You just got to know Dana White and them just laughing at these motherfuckers. They laughing at the bank. You know what I'm saying? But just on the, you know, can't be serious all the time. You know that they laughing at these motherfuckers. Wrestling look so puny now. This is the stuff that we always knew that wrestling was fake. Everybody could tell you. But when people joke about the shit, this is exactly what they see in 4K.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. What do you believe ultimately could change this?
I think, like I said kind of earlier, they need new writers. They need new writers, and they need people that's really tapping into what people today like. You can't keep doing things based on how it used to be. And I think they really need to learn, like, who are these characters? Who are these wrestlers? Who are they as people? Like, what pisses John Cena, the character, off? And then we can go from there. Like, Cena to today, you could have made him the final exam for every wrestler. And he'd say, I retire right now, every person that comes against him. And you could have had like a sense of stakes with every match, or you could have did something like that. But you kind of foreshadowed the fall each time. And they do this with every storyline, every single last one of them. As soon as it starts, you know how it's going to end. Scott D'Amore didn't do that when he ran TNA. Shawn Michaels doesn't do that as much with NXT, especially early on when you have more control. You know, they need someone, they need a new writer. And I don't agree with Vince Russo, but he speaks on some of this too. Like, he's like, if I was writing today, I'd be looking at Game of Thrones. I'd be looking at Breaking Bad because that's what people watch and that's our competition. Like I would want to get us to 3 million viewers, 3.5, 4 million. The shows that are getting those are those types of shows.
What's your best era and best promotion in wrestling?
Best era, you could go so many ways. I'm partial to the ruthless aggression era, but like the peak of it though. But I will probably say the Attitude Era is probably the best storytelling that you're gonna get in wrestling. Not even just from WWE, but from WCW, some of ECW. Japan was watchable at that time, and then best promotion, I gotta go with WWE personally. I gotta go with WWE. WCW could have been there. I think that some of their pitfalls in the end, in terms of managing their roster, really did them in. And I think it really just came down to who had The Rock on their roster. If WCW had The Rock, I don't think they lose that war.
How do you know that they was going to book The Rock? As talented as The Rock is as a wrestler, how do you know that they was going to envision The Rock the way that he became?
Because The Rock was pretty much writing his own shit at that time in the WWF. And I know WCW at a lot of points that they were letting wrestlers do what the fuck they wanted to do. But I do agree that they weren't as professional. He probably would have got hurt. Something would have happened for sure, probably.
Definitely would have got hurt. The key thing about the WWE is they always made sure that wrestlers were trained very well. They got a very specific training regimen. All that pro wrestling shit that you got to get that shit out your fucking head. I'm surprised that they let AJ Styles come on there, to be honest with you. But he's an exception. At the same time, you got to do it that way. You got to do it their way. You know what I'm saying? But they always had a good farming system. That during that time, they sent you down to Jerry Lawler. I don't know what Vince McMahon relationship is with Jerry Lawler, but they got it. And, that was his pet project, they put him in the hands of Pat Patterson, to develop The Rock to what he became. So let me move to a different area on that. The key is, stuff like OVW. Imagine if we had seen John Cena and Batista and, the Bashrooms and all that shit before they got to the WWE. Wouldn't we be tired of them by that point?
Yeah, most definitely.
So one of the things that you said was, we need to know who these people are. You know what I'm saying? And that stuff do take time. But when we find out who these people are, like, we ready for Braun Breaker to be champion in year 2. And that's not cool. How do you feel about NXT being taken off of TV?
So, two things. Let me kind of correct myself. When I say know who these people are, I really mean for the writers. Like, there should be no inconsistencies. There should never be a point where you in the writer's room asking yourself, what would Rhea Ripley do in this situation? Like, Rhea Ripley got called a child by Charlotte Flair 2 years ago and lost her shit. Adam Pearce called her a child before the Io Sky Bianca Belair match, and she just let it roll off her back. Like, you can't have those things. If her fatal flaw is her ego, it has to be that in every step of the way. To go on, NXT being off TV, I've always preferred NXT off of TV if it's going to be a developmental show. And that's another thing, like, they keep going back and forth. Is it the third brand or is it development? I say keep it as development, because the way they tell stories in NXT, and this is why I don't put Shawn over Triple H as a booker all the way yet, is because they don't have the same amount of pressure as the main roster. Everyone on NXT is in their contract. They have to play a face and a heel at some point before they get caught up. If you're going to be caught up on the main roster at some point, they normally give you a title to see how you embrace being a champion. And so these types of decisions, they're always in play. So I can't really see, like, you're not always going to be a champion because you're over with the crowd. Maybe Triple H sees something in you that he likes. He'll say, Sean, go give him the belt for 2 months. And so, I mean, it's better to keep that off of TV. It'll help if you have it on TV. When people get caught up, you get a bigger pop. But like you said, some of that surprise factor of when we had those call-ups, Batista, Randy Orton, John Cena, and we let them grow into their roles organically on the main roster, I think that was a lot better for their careers. Batista wasn't Leviathan, on TV. He was Deacon Batista for a little bit.
When you figure the fact that we got 3 hours for Raw, 3 hours for SmackDown,
Right.
4 hours for pay-per-views, 2 hours for NXT. At the same time, we got the WWE Network to where we can see the best of the best, and then we got to come and look at this. And especially if you lived through the best of the best, then, and then you got to come on. How do you remain a wrestling fan knowing that the quality is not there, one, due to quantity, two, due to the openness of the business? You know what I'm saying? We just, like one of the things that ruined Swerve Strickland title reign for me is, he had this match against Will Ospreay. He had this a couple of months in this title reign. And everybody, Will Ospreay is to everybody the best in the world and all this other different shit. And thought that he was going to win, and, Swerve won. And, Will Ospreay came out a couple of days later and said that he went to Tony Khan and requested this match so that he could lose, so that people could be shocked like that. Like you just said that.
That's crazy.
A couple of days later. Imagine if Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock a couple of days after WrestleMania had said some shit like that.
It just would have took you out of it. Just all the immersion gone.
Can you imagine The Undertaker showing videos of him at the grocery store with his wife, with his family?
That shit don't even make no sense.
You know what I'm saying? And this is where we at in our suspension of disbelief. And I think that because everybody keeps saying that we know that wrestling is fake, they might as well. No, I'll remember the elements of me being an actual wrestling fan of I can't wait to see what happens on SmackDown. I can't wait to see what happens on Raw. I can't wait to see what happens on this pay-per-view. I can't wait for this reason, this reason, this reason, this reason. A lot of people are wrestling fans in sections. Nobody enjoy the show no more. So that when Bob Holly do come out on TV, I'm cool with that because I want to see Al Snow.
Yeah.
And it's going to make me keep hating this motherfucker. I want to see what happened, and you give me a reason to wait. Because Raw was short, you know what I'm saying? 2 hours, in and out. Now we got to wait. If you didn't have cable, you missed it. It wasn't no, internet just got the popping and shit for real. If you didn't have cable internet, but before the internet, nigga, if you didn't watch it, nobody else in school watched Raw and shit, then you didn't find out what happened till fucking Thursday.
But that's also part of too, like just the differences of today. People just consume media different. The cable numbers are down. The TV viewing hours are down. People are on these apps. People are watching highlights on YouTube.
So you never really know who. You can't get a scope of how many people are actually watching the product while everybody talk about ratings.
That's a fact. Yeah, and bro, the NBA saying that we know we're a highlight league at this point. People don't even watch NBA games anymore. They just watch the highlights.
Well, then don't you think they need to cut the minutes down there?
Probably. That would make more sense. Cut the minutes down.
That's crazy for people that actually watch the game. That's crazy as hell. It's fucked up what this world is becoming into. It's becoming an automated world too. It's becoming a lazy world. You know what I'm saying? AI is some dangerous shit. It really is. But in the sense of wrestling, how do you feel if they start using that shit? If they haven't already. What if AI wrote his shit?
I heard that that's what they're looking into right now, that they starting to use some AI models to, at the very least, remind them of the history. Like, okay, we planning this storyline. Have we done this before?
What is it
It's
about the human mind that can't remind them of history?
just slow. I mean, I feel like if you got a good working brain, if you really in tune, and if you care about your craft, you're gonna remember certain things.
You ever notice how no wrestling organization been able to succeed on the level of the WWE in the history of pro wrestling
Yeah,
for more than a few years? You know, Ted Turner was one of billionaires that is like he got his own slave. You know what? This nigger right here, you're gonna treat this nigger kind as long as I'm around. And then when he died, they go back to treating him like shit. And then they lose it. You know, Ted Turner came out of his power. You know what I'm saying? And that's why they was able to sell WCW.
right.
All right. They wanted to sell WCW because WCW was a money pit. You know, they was making money and then they got to losing money. But, you know, they still had to invest a lot of money just to make that money too. And then, you know, other companies probably wouldn't have invested that money into WCW. You know what I'm saying? To get to that level. Other than that, you know, Tony Khan came in with a lot of money. He came in with his own money. You know what I'm saying? Then he getting money with his TV thing, but he gonna end up, you know, that's going to fold, you know, less than a decade. The WWE, Vince McMahon, is the reason as to why they got all the deals they got today. You know what I'm saying? Now that they regretting it, they was coming in with things that Vince McMahon already set up and probably already promised and all that shit. But apparently they're a media company too, so they probably suckered everything because we are going into this highlight thing. You know what I'm saying? Problem is WWE got so many fucking hours. So
It'd be harder to keep up with the highlights if you got 9 hours of wrestling every week. I mean, I'm hearing what you're saying.
when we started this conversation, you said that I was shocked that you was a wrestling fan. You became a wrestling fan during the time to when wrestling started sucking to me. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I got to look back and be like, oh shit, this shit was great. But in real time, you know what I'm saying? In real time, it was just garbage, you know, just like this.
Yeah, I mean, I'd take the ruthless aggression over today 100 times
Oh
out
yeah,
of 10.
100%. My ultimate point is this: how in the hell do you become a wrestling fan? How do you gain a new wrestling fan today? What is it? A kid that's never seen wrestling, and a teenager that's never seen wrestling, or even an adult that's never seen wrestling. How do you believe that they could look at this shit and be like, I want to. The
So
kids are like the flips and shit.
for me, what really did it for me, because it took me a minute. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like even as a kid, I'm about 5'6". I'm seeing these kids play with these dudes in tights. I'm like, this shit look kind of gay, and they kept doing it. They kept playing with the toys. I was kind of
Oh, I
confused.
was clowning the shit out of wrestling before I started watching. I came in knowing it was fake. I was clowning it, but you know, Stone Cold was the shit.
My uncle was watching it. I just was confused, and then we had a day at school where they let us bring our game consoles, and I played one of the old SmackDown games, and that's what made me go, all right, I'll go finally watch it. And I went to my uncle's house. He had it on. I watched it, and I was like, all right, yeah. And I just started watching it out of habit. Even like now, even when I don't like the product at the most, I'm still watching it out of habit. I feel like that's three different avenues out
This
there. The
nigga seen
TV.
La Resistance and was like, no, I'm saying because hold on, I'm trying to think because I don't want to hold that era, but you seen Gene Snitsky. It wasn't my fault.
tonight.
like
Ron
this shit.
Conway.
Say Lita was hot, wasn't she?
Oh yeah,
Lita was hot.
Victoria. I like Tori. That's what I
Oh
thought.
man, Victoria, man, she could grab you to be a lifelong wrestler. You could be a wrestling fan for life off of Victoria, boy. I tell you what, she ain't the one to mess with. Now that we got that out the way, because Kenzo Suzuki could, I know you wonder where the hell he is right
Right.
now. But the thing is, like, so when you apply that to today, how do a person, let's say a teenager, I don't want, because the kids should be more into the flippy shit. So from a teenager to adults, how do you get into Sami Zayn today?
I'm gonna tell you what I've seen actually personally. Now that I think about it, I've seen the TikToks get more new wrestling fans than anything these days, where people make like the edits. They'll have the wrestler cut a promo, put some music over it, and then show the highlights of them wrestling. Those do big numbers on TikTok. And some of my friends, like when they try to get their girl to watch wrestling, they be like, "Oh, that shit fake. I ain't watching it." They'll show them the TikToks, and then their girl will want to go watch it with them. Same thing with teenagers and kids.
But what get them hooked though? No, what I'm asking is, how do you create new wrestling fans?
It's all marketing, and the marketing, what you're marketing is the writing. So if I'm writing a really good promo, if I'm making good matches, I'm giving these people making these TikTok edits good content to put out there. In the same way we was talking about the highlights. People gonna watch the highlights. People will watch Jason Kidd highlights and then think they could tell you all about his game and never saw a full game. It's the same thing with wrestling. Like, you have to create the content that's
I be
actually
telling these people to shut the fuck up. Seriously, man. I can't help but to troll a motherfucker, because it'd be like, man, shut the fuck up. Like, dog, who you talking to? I get a specific area, then I gotta educate these people on actual wrestling. Like, man, shut up. This motherfucker tried to tell me, this fucking Mexican tried to tell me that the European title, he he said that the WWF had a cruiserweight title before the WCW ended, and it was the European title. And then tried to list all these people. I'm like, man, just and then I'll be having to listen to this shit, because if I tell them to shut the fuck up, I'm the bad guy. You know what I'm saying? I gotta be having to listen and then try to let them down with kindness. Like, no, I don't be wanting to listen to this shit all the time. Shut up.
I don't know. Personally, I feel like the only way you can get new wrestling fans, you just gotta sneak it into their daily life, pretty much. And the only way you can do that is what they already doing. Just putting on the Netflix page ain't gonna do it. Nobody buying them games. Nobody buying toys. So that's crazy.
Yeah, I just we Christmas shopping now. I'm like, fuck, do kids even play with toys? Nah, they be who the fuck play with toys? I don't. My kids don't play with toys.
Them toys don't sell. The video game is selling more than the toys, actually.
Yeah, it's gaming season, boy.
Yeah.
The video game is like number 7 in the world right now, I think.
The kids don't play with toys no more. And they don't give a fuck about buying action figures and all that other stuff. They can sell off of merchandise off of t-shirts and little headbands and all that other different shit, but they're not necessarily buying the toys. So American Negroes are not featured so prominently in the WWE. I noted that Naomi, the night that she won the women's championship off the Money in the Bank cash in, she was in the lobby lobbying for her merchandise to be put out there.
Question marks block your blessings. No. What a Naomi shirt at? What a Naomi merch? Where that? Where that? Where that? I was asking the same question. Please go. That's like,
I need white folk to leave because this isn't for you. American Negroes, this is sadder than we can ever imagine. This is the state that WWE is in as the women prepare for a WWE evolution. American Negroes are still trying to evolve in this business. You know, white folk label us as very colorful people. We're quite entertaining. As a matter of fact, we've become the most entertaining, the most charismatic, the most athletic, the most intriguing people in the world. The world is attracted to American Negroes. American Negroes specifically. We have the greatest gift in the world. Yet, America choose to keep American Negroes at the bottom. Naomi put so much into her gimmick, herself, this year alone. And this is the stand that she must take on the night that they tell us that women have evolved. Racism is the #1 issue in professional wrestling. For those that want to say that it isn't racism, isn't looking at the economical standpoint.
And you go out there and you see it was WWE Evolution, and you see all types of white women plastered all in the background on the poles and shit. You know, they little images and shit. And I noticed Natalia there. And I'm like, man, what's up with this bitch? Like, why they still got her on the payroll? You know, I understand that she could be an ambassador like Stephanie, but she do so well with the training people. And I'm looking at, you know, Bailey doing the same thing, and that's good. You know, pass on your blessings and shit. But I'm looking at all the people in the background, and it's so white. Like, y'all telling me that this is the future of the business. It's like they getting all the out the way, and then 4 years from now, it's just going to be white. I could see this stuff happening. I could obviously tell that you're not satisfied with the usage of American Negroes, but I'm just going to, you know, ask, like, why are people afraid? Like, because I keep saying that the 10 people that y'all naming is throughout all brands is not enough. When I ask for details and success, I'm serious when I ask about that. When was the last time an American Negro held the Intercontinental Championship, got an Intercontinental Championship match, you know, U.S. title, tag team titles? Where are the Street Profits? You know, these are genuine questions. Like, why shouldn't I be able to ask this, right?
Right.
This is the fans. This is the fans that buck up against this. You know, do you believe that based off of natural talent that WWE could, and mind you, they not grabbing indie wrestlers. They getting these athletes. You know what I'm saying? NILs, so they're not getting these indie wrestlers around the world. That's not how you get in the wrestling business nowadays for WWE.
Yeah, they tried that. But they noticed that the indie wrestlers had their own real estates, like the AJ Styles and the Samoa Joes. So they rather get the NIL people who have a little bit of viral real estate, but no name. So they can change that around, have that little power dynamic.
And so, with that being said, do you believe that the WWE have the ability to present 20 American Negroes separately at one time?
For sure. Most
If they
definitely.
wanted to.
Why is that a
White
threat?
ladies.
Ron Killen said this. Everybody pay attention to this. Why do you think that R-Truth, out of all the Negroes, lasted?
Because he can play the funny Negro.
It's I was talking to Stevie Richards one time, and Stevie told me, he said, "Corey, sometimes you can be too good, and sometimes you can be not good enough." He said, "You definitely don't fit the category of not good enough." He said, "I don't know what it is." And he said, "I'm tired of fucking trying to figure out." And when Stevie told me that, I stopped trying to figure out. So it's, they could if they wanted to. They don't want to, which is cool with me. But just when I get the ball rolling and they want to, they got to come correct. Or don't come at all.
The safe Negro.
The Negro that Vince McMahon could toss his coin to?
Yep. The silver dollar to go to, from the, the silver dollars from the, keep their silver dollars from the pomade back in the slave times and such like that,
Ron Killen said it. As talented, the interviewer asked him, as talented as you are, why do you believe the WWE ain't doing shit with you? He said, well, the one thing that I know is that everything happens at the stroke of a pen. And they could do whatever that they want with me. They just don't want to. He said that. They don't want to. So, how do y'all believe, I asked about the fans, how do y'all believe that the wrestlers, if the WWE chose to go that direction, how do you believe that the locker room would take that?
That's a good question.
Well, it's a real question because this is about to climb. This is about to ramp up when you look at Trick, Lash, Bianca coming back, the Street Profits, Carmelo, Javon Evans, and even if I got to go to the Southers, Obafemi, Jay Cargill. If you want to talk about the mixed people, Kiana James and Jada Parker, Michin. And Michin, let me just tell you, straight up, simply because you're married to an American Negro, I apologize. But, who else down there?
You got them dudes in Dark State.
NXT?
Deion Lennox and Jasper Reed and Shaquan Sugars.
Shaquan Sugars.
Yeah, Callie Armstrong. And you notice the women kind of fading out now. Now that they feel like they got an influx of them. Naomi.
Ira May Steele.
Who? Oh, yeah. I'm still trying to see what's up with that, but, her and...
You got the tag team, Jada Parker with OTM.
Who is OTM?
Out the Mud. What's their names? I don't know what.
Little Grand Theft Auto light-skinned dudes.
Yeah.
They Negroes?
Yeah.
Bronco Nina and Lucian Price. I think they have to.
Yeah,
I will check on that, but right now I'm counting the mix because they're going to count the mix. I'm just doing that right now just because they're going to use this. When they bring all these people up and they bring them up all at one time, you know what I'm saying? How is the locker room? How is Randy Orton gonna be? We talked about Randy Orton, kind of showing that he down with some shit, whatever y'all said about Jeff Hardy and shit. How do y'all feel when these whites are being threatened out? At the same time, y'all know that they pushing these Mexicans and shit like Penta and shit. That's how I know that they not gonna allow this stuff to happen. The Japanese people and shit like Asuka and all them, it's more active Japanese women right now than there are American Negro women.
It might be split down the middle. It might be some of the white boys in the locker room might be like, wait a minute, what's going on here? I thought this was a white man's sport. But
Yeah.
then you might have the Cody Rhodes type, like, yeah, let the non-whites work, and I'll just come in for the main event. And I think that's probably what it is right now. I think that's what it is.
I definitely see that.
Yeah.
Well, 2021, I think, was a test for them. At the same time, we can't ignore the fact that that was probably a test, and it's probably, just a little something to weed the whites out. But maybe they found that they could be successful by darkening up the WWE. I mean, now they did use Bobby Lashley, who was a Panamanian. They did use Apollo Crews. They did use Big E. They did use Kofi Kingston. Huh?
He got a haircut. Finally.
Is he bald?
He pushed it down a little bit lower. That's all he needed to do. He pushed it down lower. It looked like he got some, some enhancements on that. He probably got some Jaylen Brown shit.
All right, hold on one second. Let me see who this is right quick. Exclamation mark. Welcome to Wrestling with Racism.
What's up, bro?
What's going on?
Not much. You guys talking about John Cena?
Yeah, what's going on?
Saw that he lost, right? His last retirement fight.
Yeah, he done. He out of there.
Sad. It's a sad way for the legend to go out.
Not necessarily. It depends on how they rebound for it.
That's true. So what you guys talking about? Just wrestling with racism?
Yeah, you got an opinion on racism in wrestling?
I do have an opinion on both.
Sure.
I like wrestling, and I don't like racism. Let's just put it like that.
Where you from?
Canada.
Oh, okay. What?
Province, Ontario, Toronto.
Oh,
the 6. You know Drake?
Yeah.
Let's just say, he's from my city. I'm not from his.
Yeah. You a Canadian, or your people from France or something?
Nah, I'm a Canadian.
Okay. Y'all got a lot of French people in the area?
Oh yeah, I speak French. Je parle français.
Oh, okay.
Who's this K Cheese listening? It sounds like he has an opinion too.
I'm not about to go there. Actually, this is about to be really cut short. I just want to ask you, in your area, that you got black people in your area, right?
Yes.
What's the race relations in your area?
I think pretty calm. It's nothing here. Not like the U.S. I'll say that. Canada is much better. It's a lot of diverse cultures here.
Yeah, so everybody usually live in peaceful harmony?
Yep, except for, unfortunately, the Indians. These past couple, months, people have been starting to attack them.
What people?
Indians.
No, I'm saying what people have been attacking them.
Oh, just usually the white people are the ones doing the attacking by everyone, because they're letting a lot of Indians immigrate to Canada, and unfortunately they're getting targeted now. Racism.
So, I mean, are the Indians a threat to them?
Well, here's the thing. When people first started to come to Canada all those years ago, they would come here with degrees and getting jobs, engineers, doctors, plumbers, whatever, the whole nine. But now, these Indians are coming, and God bless them, they should be able to come, it's a free country. But they're coming and they're going to work in fast food, so they're not bringing anything to the country. And that's a big thing. They should be bringing things to the country, you know what I mean? And they're not assimilating. They're not joining the culture here. They're coming here, and by all means, still have your culture, but you can't just run off and pretend you're in Canada, but you're actually in India. You got to be part of the community.
Now, how long? You said they've been there for the last couple of months. They just really getting there?
Yeah, so they've been here a long time, but recently, in the past months, year, couple months, more and more, there's been an influx.
All right, so why do y'all feel like they should, off rip, be ready to do what y'all want them to do? Like they not producing quick enough, How do you know that they have things set up for them to do that? What type of racism are they facing anyway? Oh, he wasn't prepared for that.
We fucked him up.
Oh, damn.
All right, so I'm not letting nobody else up here. So he actually brought up a good point, though. You know what I'm saying? Kind of going to where I was leading to with the locker room. So they are more comfortable, you know. They may be more comfortable with the whatever black people they say is up there. You know, Asians and Hispanics, whatever little black people or, you know, is around them or shit, which I don't think is many. You know, but they're probably kind to them and more than likely they're not. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they threaten by people that they know is going to produce over them. That's probably not going to take the bullshit that these other groups take from them in small numbers because they are coming in large numbers. And they already giving them shit. He just admitted it.
Caught your ass, didn't I?
He just admitted it. So, I swear to God, that just fell right into my next question. How do you believe that the locker room is going to take these Negroes?
Yeah, that's crazy. He actually threw you the lob on that one. They ain't going to take that too well. They ain't going to take it too well. They would have to do it really, really gently.
You know that they coming with that DEI shit, right? Offer it.
Oh man, I just cussed out a honky like 2 weeks ago. He telling me white's the minority in this country and DEI, and if it was me and him for a job, I get it just because I'm black. I was like,
yeah, but you gonna need him. He right, but you gonna need him to get specific because either he don't have an understanding of what he talking about, or he's directing his energy toward the wrong people because they're not the minority because of us.
Right.
Not, you know, some we even say the Hispanics, but you know, the country, they done opened this country up to Russians and Germans and French and goddamn the people in the UK. They opened this country up. He talking about them Mayflower whites.
Yeah.
When they say that, you're going to have to ask them to get specific on what they talking about. One, to see if they even worth your time talking to. And two, it's not our fault that they the minority. So, you know, if you're trying to use that as an excuse, you're talking to the wrong person. I can't help you.
Well, he also didn't make the DEI initiatives that he was complaining about too. So
we didn't set nothing that y'all supposedly gave for us. You know what I'm saying? You didn't sit down and talk to my grandparents about this. I'm serious. This shit crazy as hell. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy because we wrestle with racism because wrestling is a smaller space to flex white supremacy. But if you pay attention, it's no different than what you see here in America and generally worldwide. White folk are threatened by the success of American Negroes. That they will utilize other ethnic groups to specifically undermine us. Hey, we're not a racist company because Oscar is successful. She could be the only Japanese person that they ever push in that way. In the 10 years down the line, they could bring an Helios guy and give her a couple of things and she'll never have to get nothing again, and that's cool. Tony Khan played his thing because he ain't got to give a Negro a motherfucking championship for another 20 years because Swerve Strickland held that title for 4 months. The crumbs that we settle for. And that's another thing when we talk about mixed people. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be 100% completely disrespectful, but
y'all make me disrespectful when you come at me because you don't understand about why I rejected this mixed person at the time. Who is out here looking for the American Negro on all four corners? My parents, my grandparents, all American Negroes. If my grandparents are American Negroes, obviously my great-grandparents is American. It's just a line of it. You know what I'm saying? Who's looking out for us? I don't disrespect nobody. You know what I'm saying? But you got me dodging so many goddamn questions off when I just say I'm only asking for American Negroes because who's out here asking for them? Trick Williams, you know, why can't he be John Cena? Why can't he run this motherfucking place for the next 10 years? Who's more intriguing than him right now? Be honest, it's not even Carmelo Hayes. Carmelo Hayes is a great wrestler. But who do you look at besides Braun Breaker that could carry this in the next 10 years? It's good that we never really seen Braun Breaker versus Trick Williams in NXT. But will they make it happen? How hard is it for them to mix it up and put Gunther versus Braun Breaker? And put them in a meaningful feud. Everything week after week just seemed like a drag. You know what I'm saying? And it's a drag because they bored with white. You know, I find it funny because Dominic Mysterio grew up here in America as a white man. His father made sure of that. But he's Mexican by blood, so therefore he's Mexican, right? Mm-hmm. But when I advocate for American Negroes, and then y'all tell me, well, Jade Cargill, well, I say, well, she's Jamaican. Well, she was born here in America, but she's Jamaican.
You notice she's starting to claim she half Jamaican now?
She might be. I mean, she's always claimed Jamaican on the low key. You know what I'm saying? I always kept up on that shit. So if she's starting to come out more because she coming out more in the press, she may be. I don't know. You know, if she was born in Florida, you know, Chad in Florida, he know what's up. It's possible. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got shit against Jade Cargill. She the fucking shit. Mm-hmm. I don't feel like editing again, so I ain't about to.
Like, but when you say half Jamaican, like one of her parents is Jamaican and another one of her parents is American Negro type shit?
Yeah, I think she sent her mom American Negro because I heard her say in an interview she was raised by strong black women. This was years ago. And she just said recently that she's like, yeah, one thing people don't know about me is that I'm actually half Jamaican.
Yeah, send me that interview, but she may be half Jamaican, half Panamanian. You gotta really watch out for that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? But no, I'm just saying, just seriously, if you can find it, just go ahead on and send me that. I need all that type of stuff because and then on top of that, there's nothing wrong with gaining an understanding. I'm not dismissing black people because they black. I'm not dismissing black people at all. But I don't want these black people to obtain success at the expense of American Negroes, and that's not their problem. That's the WWE problem. Mr. Skilms, why do you believe that Negroes have to replace one another?
I don't think we need to replace one another, but you see this in corporate America too. It seems like there's like an invisible quota. Like, I know if my company, well, I'm not gonna say where I work, but if we hire a black person, I know another black dude is getting fired at some point. I just know it, and each time I've had that hunch, I've been right. I don't know what it is. I really can't even figure it out. But I mean, it's racism, obviously. But like, at a certain point, does that trump a meritocracy? You know what I'm saying? And I guess it does.
No, that's 100%. Like I said, if it isn't racism, then why is it a continuous cycle? I mean, like I said, it's not just in pro wrestling, it's most factors of life.
This is the conclusion of the second part of this week's edition of Wrestling with Racism, and we want to thank each and every single American Negro for tuning into the program. We also want to thank our guests for this edition, the Black Knights Negro Heritage Club and Mr. Skims. They provided valuable information on the past, the present, and the future of professional wrestling. The future, if we are not careful. The question is asked, did John Cena leave the WWE in good hands? When you look at the amount of American Negroes, no. But when you look at the talent of the American Negroes, why, hell yes, he did. It's up to Triple H and the white powers that be, above and below him, to utilize them. And if it isn't racism, then why wouldn't they? American Negroes, take care of yourself as an individual and protect one another as family. As our ancestor, Frankie Beverly, stated plainly, we are one. And that's the way it is. We here at Wrestling with Racism hope that each and every single American Negro enjoyed this edition of Wrestling with Racism, as we can assure you that wrestling with racism is not the easiest thing in the world to do. We here at Wrestling with Racism aim to exploit white truths. However, white truths isn't the easiest thing to live through. As we continue to wrestle with racism, we are in the second half of our second season, and Wrestling with Racism is hiring for key positions. We are actively seeking an editor. If you are an editor and you are an American Negro, please feel free to DM me your resume. You must be in tune with professional wrestling and social issues regarding race, specifically with American Negroes. You may DM me at non-crackers@al with the L on the end on Twitter X, which is also the place where you can find more white truths. Wrestling with Racism is also actively seeking an associate producer. Please DM me your resume if you are interested in the position. You may also DM me at non-crackers@al on Twitter X, which is also where you can find more white truths. To American Negroes, we encourage you all to voice your opinion on the state of professional wrestling and American Negroes' participation in professional wrestling on camera and behind the scenes, also in executive roles. If you would like to join HBK 400, Deportation 2025, the owner of a stolen gun, and our trusted, valued correspondents, Foundational Bearded American, and Duke CT from the Duke CT Lounge, feel free to DM me at non-crackers@al on Twitter X, which is also the place where you can find more white truths. It is important for our voices to become collective as we are truly facing erasure. American Negroes, take care of yourself as an individual and protect one another as family. As our ancestor, Frankie Beverly, stated plainly, we are one. And that's the way it is. We hope that you enjoyed Wrestling with Racism, and we encourage you all to leave a comment below letting us know what you felt about this particular program and the program overall. And if you are an American Negro and you are not subscribed to Wrestling with Racism, check out the other content. And if it hits you to the core, subscribe and share with every single American Negro that you know, whether they are a wrestling fan or not. You may also check us out and subscribe, follow on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Fanbase, and at Non-Crackers at Al on Twitter X for more white truths. Thank you for tuning in and have a great week.